everybody, yes, how are we all doing? It is the Fredders93 here, and welcome to the first edition in 2021 of Football with Fredders, the weekly football discussion show here on the channel. Now this week, with the January transfer window now in full effect, I'm going to be taking a look at each Premier League team and see where I personally feel that they need to strengthen after so far the first half or so of the season. And we'll go in alphabetical order, so we'll start things off with Arsenal. Now, one thing that they seem to have been lacking is a bit more creativity, certainly in the centre. I mean, with Aubameyang and Lacazette either playing out on the wing or in front, no problems there. But it's a bit more central, sort of like in the cam role sort of thing. Do they go for Aurier again, or can they try and trim some of the fat out of their squad to see if there's a potential spot for Mesut Ozil, because nobody really knows why he's been frozen out of the squad. But maybe something to think about. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see as January goes on. Next up, Aston Villa. For me, this is more of a simpler one. To be honest, they really could use a backup striker. Because they can't just rely on Ollie Watkins for their source of goals from their main man up front. Wesley has had his fitness issues since he's been at the club, and Samata just hasn't really been good enough. Before anyone comments or anything like that, you're going to notice that through this list, there may be a theme with one or two positions that develops as the video goes on. So, continuing the theme with Brighton and Hove Albion, where I do think they do need a striker. That's why I've just said that about the theme developing. Simply put, Neil, you can't just rely on like Neil Maupay or anyone like that. Aaron O'Connolly still needs a bit of time to step up, and then do they really have anyone else other than those two? I'm not entirely sure. I don't really think they have anyone else other than those two. But then with Burnley, I'm going to say two positions here. I'm going to say a striker, because Ashley Barnes, Chris Wood haven't really sort of hit the ground running, and I don't know if that sort of helped not helped with Burnley's struggles this season. And then centre back, because there's huge question marks over the future of James Tarkowski, and so if he does get sold, then Burnley have got a massive gap to fill next to Ben Mee, and I don't really think that they've got anyone else in to do his role. Now Chelsea, I'm going to say sort of more like a number 9 sort of player, maybe not a full out and out striker, but definitely someone that can do a number 9 role, because Tammy Abraham, I don't want to say overly inconsistent, but hasn't really had that many minutes whenever they've pulled him off the substitutes bench. The same as Olivier Giroud, and then Timo Werner hasn't really hit the ground running at Chelsea like I thought he would at the beginning of the season, but that's for another video. And so yeah, maybe a number 9 should be the thing that Chelsea goes for. Now, Crystal Palace and Everton, I'm going to do theirs together, purely because I've thought of the same sort of positions they need for both, and they are fullbacks. Now, nothing wrong with Nathaniel Klein or Patrick Van Aanholt at Crystal Palace, or likewise Seamus Coleman or Luca Digne at Everton. But if any of those get injured, who do those clubs really have? I mean, I know they've got like young up and coming talents, but some of the games that Palace or Everton may face, it may be too much just to throw these youngsters into those sorts of games in the Premier League. Fulham if they're going to stay up, I know we can probably talk about their defence, but I think their main problem will be in the offence. Boubacar Kamara just isn't good enough for the Prem. Bobby Decordova-Reid is being used. He is getting goals, but it's getting from the wing. Like, there's no real sort of focal point up front, and Scott Parker just doesn't seem to trust Alexander Mitrovic. Don't really understand sort of why or anything like that. Yes, yeah, definitely strikers for Fulham. Leeds United, this was a bit more of a hard one to sort of think about because they've taken the Premier League by surprise and they've been playing entertaining football. So it's a bit hard for me to pinpoint to them where exactly they need to improve. Maybe in central midfield, just in case anything happens to Calvin Phillips, like an injury, or if he gets, well, if anyone does come in with money big enough for Leeds not to say no. I just don't know. Leicester City, I'm going to say a left back because although they do have Christian Fuchs, he is getting on, and Timothy Castagna, although he can play left back, it's not his first choice position. So other than that, other than Fuchs, they don't really have a natural left back in there, and I don't really feel that they've replaced team Ben Chilwell, or if they have replaced him, we haven't really seen him. Liverpool's one is a lot more obvious. They need a centre back, even just like a short term loan deal or short term loan for the rest of this season, just to have had something in for Van Dijk and for Gomez, because Joel Matip's not exactly got the best track record in terms of keeping fit or staying away from injuries, and they can't just rely on the likes of Fabinho and Jordan Henderson sitting in there for the rest of the season. So they just need cover at centre back. Manchester City now. Again, like Liverpool's, theirs is a bit more straightforward as well. Sergio Aguero, his fitness has been a bit sort of on and off. Plus, his contract's up at the end of the season, and there's no real sort of word as to whether or not he's going to sign an extension or anything like that. Gabriel Jesus just hasn't hit the ground running at all, and so they don't really have anyone else other than that. Manchester United, team on form at the moment. Can't really think of anyone that they need, so for non-applicable, so I'll give sort of like a non-applicable for that. Newcastle United. Now this one is so easy for us. We need another striker. Potentially get rid of. I don't want to say get rid of Gale as well, but it's hard to say because you can see that when Callum Wilson is not playing, we just don't seem to make attempts to get any goals in the games. So we rely far too heavily on Callum Wilson, and also the other place we need a position is left back. I know we've got Jamal Lewis and we've got Matt Ritchie who can play at left wing back, but Jamal Lewis is like 21, 22 years old. His first Premier League season was the awful season that Norwich City had last season where they slumped to the bottom of the league. And so he's still young. He needs a natural left back to grow off there. And Mike Ashley, if in the unlikely chance you're watching this, get Jetro Willems. Right, so Sheffield United. This is going to sound really bad to Aaron Ramsdale because I know they've only just got him in, but he needs to be replaced. I mean, he's about to get this unwanted reputation of having been relegated twice in 2 seasons as a goalkeeper that's not exactly going to shine you in the best light in terms of trying to attract other clubs further down your career. And also, up front, they need something. Ollie McBurney, David McGoldrick, Ryan Brewster, Lise Mousset just haven't been good enough this season. And Sheffield United need the goals if they've got any chance of survival. Southampton was a bit of an interesting one to sort of like try and think of as well, because I didn't really think they needed to strengthen too much in certain areas. Maybe some more cover down the wings just to relieve the pressure on like Armstrong or Walcott or Redmond and players like that. Spurs right back, I think, is where they probably need to strengthen, because other than Serge Aurier, you haven't really got anyone else. You've not really got that much cover there, or someone that you can regularly rotate in that position, like he has on the left-hand side, where he's got Ben Davies and Sergio Reguilon. West Brom, you just need a whole new back line. As bad as that sounds, you just need a whole new back line, like in a whole new lot of defenders, if you've got any chance of staying up. West Ham, maybe a new centre back. So that's probably where James Tarkowski comes in, from where I mentioned at Burnley. Maybe you try and get him in, or maybe just try and see if David Moyes can restore his faith in Issa Diop a little bit. Like, I don't, but honestly, I would not know who else have picked for West Ham. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, simply put, you need a striker. You guys are missing Raul Jimenez, I'm sure. I mean, I know you've got like Podence, Neto, Silva, but Silva's only about 17, 18 years old. It's a lot of pressure to put on somebody's shoulders that early on in their career. Never mind the price tag that you guys paid for him in the summer. So maybe another striker just to get you guys in through the rest of the season. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Next week I will go over my Bundesliga predictions, as we'll be sort of like at the halfway point. So that'll do it for this week with Football with Fredders. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, follow social medias. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye for now.